Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Soulful Feast, bite-sized information to nourish your body, mind, and spirit. If you are new to the podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe and to share this episode with someone who might need to hear it. Now, let's talk about wrapping up the year. I cannot believe that 2025 is coming to a close, guys. How are we in Burr months? How are we so end to the year? It's like this is crazy. So close to the end of the year. It is so crazy. It went by so fast. But you know what? Let's take this opportunity to have a pause and actually reflect on what is coming ahead. And I have here today a really dear friend of mine. She describes herself as a modern day nuni nuni. If you are of a younger generation, you don't know what that is. So it's like a modern day witchy woo woo, wonderful spiritual girl. She is a former editor, media professional, and producer, but she is a wonderful equestrian and lately has really been embodying and embracing her energy work. An intuitive healer and space clearer and energetic counselor. I have with me Kat Holigores. Hi, Kat.
Hi, Steph.
Hi.
I like the introduction because you also wear many, many hats.
I know.
Right?
This is us. We're like the Mad Hatters. Lahat-lahat na.
Yes.
All right. So I have you here in the capacity of the energy healer. So for those of you who don't know, Kat is the person I go to as an energy worker and light worker to reset myself. So Kat works a lot with Millennium Method. So tell us a little bit more about first year one-on-one work.
Sure. Well, Steph, first and foremost, you realize that I also come to you for a lot of things. And even if it's not a formal healing, setting, it's the fact that, your energy has shifted a lot within me as well, so I feel that it's always a mutual thing. It is always a respectful energy exchange.
Oh,
okay?
thank you. That means so much to me.
Yeah.
And I love that. Look at this mutual love.
Yeah. Especially in the Burr months, we need
Yes,
all the love that we
need
can
it.
get. Right?
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
this is about you. It's my turn to interview you and highlight all the wonderful work that you do. So share with us. So you're the founder of Soul Spa. I had another hat, Soul Spa PH. And tell us a little bit more about your one-on-one work first.
Sure. So you did mention Millennium Method. So yes, it is one of the modalities that I had training in, but it's not my modality, so I can't claim ownership of it, but it's one of the tools. So the nice thing about Millennium Method is that these are cards, decks of cards that have fractals on it. And these fractals have unique programs. So when I have my one-on-one session with you, you basically say, how you're feeling or not. Sometimes you come in kind of blind, and I basically read off your energy with these cards and tell you this is what's happening in your current situation. These are the factors that are affecting it. And these are normally weaknesses or blocks, because the whole goal of having a one-on-one session is that you feel optimal after. Whether you've been feeling like you're going in circles, or you're continuously in a rut, or you're going through like the same patterns in your relationships, whether it's romantic, personal, business, familial, it's to shift that energy. So that's what I do. I also do theta DNA, which helps shifts your DNA. I do space clearing. So if you feel like where you live or where you work is like blocking you, or you feel, not very positive or, inspired there, I can help you. So those are the things that I help.
I love it because I've done all of that with Kat. Lahat na. From like telling all the mumu in my house to go away to like all the bad juju in my body to also go away.
Right. And on your animal healing too. I love working with animals.
So
yeah.
Kat always works on my puppy.
Yeah, she's so sweet
Yeah,
though.
Pepper is very, very sweet, but she is very much my animal soulmate and unwittingly protects me from so many things, even if I don't ask her to. So she always gets like wawa.
Yeah.
So we're always trying to keep her positive. So, one of the things that I love, Kat, is the way you approach it. It's really like a therapy session. That's why we just coined it right now, energetic counseling.
Yes.
Because, I have different modalities, but I do something similar because at the end of the day, it needs to make sense and integrate with you, right?
for sure.
So, what's nice is she's so intuitive and you can see everybody's energy, and bring clarity and tips to people's lives of what to do now with that
Yes,
information,
yes.
right? Not just basta basta,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you're okay now, call me when you feel bad again, right? It's like empowering,
Sure.
right? So I love that. Let's talk about today.
Okay.
Okay, like applicable for everybody here, and this is why you guys are here. How do we take stock of what is happening in our lives right now? Um, it's been a heavy year, right? Like globally, I
Yes,
think
yes.
2025 has been, I mean, everything from not discounting what is happening in our country. We
Of
don't need to
course.
enumerate.
Of course.
We can just really sit here, hold a little space for it, and empathize with the natural disasters, the difficult politics,
Yeah.
and all of that. And then even globally
Yeah.
with Trump, with
Yeah.
Gaza, with, I mean, there's a lot happening,
Of course.
right? How that affects us
Yes.
personally. So for people out there, what can they do at this year end to kind of take stock of what has happened in their lives and in the energy around them for 2025?
Okay. Well, I mean, I love the way you led the introduction of the place about this one being a pause. And I think for those who are listening, the fact that you are subscribing to this podcast already shows that there is an awareness and a willingness to heal. So thank you for tuning in, because this is already a shift for you, because it's almost like you're wanting something better or wanting to feel better. So there's absolutely nothing in general we can do about what's going on in the world, because unless you are a world leader and you can make executive decisions. But what you can take stock of right now is what it is that you have. So everything starts off from being grateful, right? And I know it's difficult because especially towards the end of the year, we have an obligation, especially in the Philippines, to like give, right? Because we feel the societal pressures of one, it's Christmas, it's the holidays, people are coming back from abroad. If you have children or if you have, staff or relatives, it's about giving. And we forget that in the giving, it's also very draining.
Yeah.
And
I want to take
yeah.
note, it's not just giving things
Yes.
or money
Yes.
or gifts.
Yes.
It's giving your time
Yes.
and yourself,
Yes.
right? Like how many events, parties, this, whatnot, like occasions, right? It's giving your
Yeah.
energy, right?
Yeah, it's all outward. A lot of it is outward. So the first thing that you can do is, and very simple thing, is just take stock of what you have now. That is keeping you happy. That is keeping you grounded. I mean, something very basic. You have your health. Hopefully, nobody in your immediate family is, let's say, very ill. Two, maybe, you can enjoy good meals with good friends, with your family. It's just very, very simple things you notice on a day-to-day basis. Doesn't have to be a big, grand thing. So I would say start off with the gratitude part. Because when you focus on the things you're grateful for, it does spill over to
Yes.
everything around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think let's just remind ourselves that gratitude is grounding.
Yes.
So anytime you feel lutang or untethered, right? Then just coming back to self and doing this gratitude practice
Yes.
is really helpful to come back to center.
Sure.
And I think right now that's a lot of kalat
It
energy.
is. And it
right?
causes a lot of anxiety, right? Because you're worrying about, the new outside world, how it'll affect you, let's say, in terms of economy. I know my friends who have, let's say, kids who study abroad, of course, are wondering about the safety. And even just here,
The earthquake, guys.
I know, the earthquake and the
I've been
floods
doing
and all that.
so many
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not only are you feeling pain for those who are suffering
Yeah.
due to the earthquake, there's also the looming big one,
Of
right? Like, how
course.
do you deal with all that
Yes.
anxiety? My gosh,
Yeah.
right?
So the way I would advise, and this is something I also recently learned, is that the brain likes patterns. It looks for patterns. So it's almost like if you are continuously focused on what could go wrong, the brain will only show you that. And that can be something as minute as the minute you think something will go wrong, you're going to notice, oh, all of my, let's say, fixtures in my house are falling apart. Do something bigger like, oh, our roads are falling apart. So it's about breaking certain patterns. And I'm just giving you hacks on a day-to-day basis because what I like about Steph's podcast is that it gives you things that are doable, that you can do daily. You don't need to like go out there and like, cocoon in like a beautiful spa or enter a cave and become a monk. It's everyday hacks. So one is your brain looks for patterns. So the minute you are aware, and awareness is the first step, that you are going into another pattern, is to stop.
Okay.
And the way to stop is to do something as simple as stand up and walk around. That's it.
Okay.
Stand up and walk around. The second I learned is you address your brain and you say, this is my disaster pattern. So when you disconnect from that pattern, even your brain says, oops, yeah, okay, I break. And I go, and you can think of, okay, so let me think about that delicious cup of coffee I'm going to make for myself right now. Do something at that point that will give you pleasure or joy. I mean, again, if you're at work, I can't expect you to go, okay, guys, bye, boss, I'm going to go and have coffee. No, but maybe you could go, boss, I'm just going to go get something. Maybe just walk around the room or anything, or put a pot, or, okay, this one for me has become very powerful. I don't know if it works for you, Steph, the olfactory senses. If you have an oil or a scent or a candle or something, just smell it. Quick, just it puts on your wrist.
It's a direct connection to your pleasure centers.
Correct.
And your calming
Yes.
centers. Yeah, essential oils.
Yes, and that will break the pattern.
So I really believe in this, right? Neuroplasticity
Yes.
is real.
Yes.
And whether you're into the woo-woo stuff or science-backed information, neuroplasticity is real.
Yep.
So those are your little connections in your brain that you form
neurotransmitters, yeah.
over time, and they're stuck in that way. It's like a muscle that you keep using. Think of a tennis
Yes,
player
yes.
who only uses his right arm the whole time, and if he doesn't work out his left arm, it will atrophy,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
the only way you can change the dynamic is to focus on using the left arm through other things. So in the same way, we have our bad habits, whatever they are. Let's not brand them bad habits. We have our habits. We have habits that maybe no longer serve us,
Sure.
right? So for whatever reason, you're coming out of a traumatic relationship and you had to have survival mode or anger mode patterns because that's what got you through it, and now you're ready. Like for me, for example, for a really long time, I couldn't live my life without looming catastrophe or
Sure.
chaos, because like for me, chaos was connected to growth. Like in order to have growth, I needed to have chaos,
Yes.
like Phoenix rising from the
Yes.
ashes, right? But then I'm actually very grateful to be so happy and in a very peaceful, relatively peace. That's not to say without sadness or
Of
anger
course.
or pain, but in a relatively peaceful time of
Yeah.
my life. And it's like, how do I stop the chaos from happening to have growth? And it was a conscious thing that I had to keep undoing in my brain, the patterns of creating drama, the
Yeah.
patterns of, emotional outbursts for no
Yes.
reason. And it's like you have to really rewire yourself.
Because
So-
those are your default settings sometimes.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't realize that drama is a crutch.
It is.
It is a crutch, because we're trained, especially if, let's say, you're in a creative field, that you think that having the pain and the suffering is what's going to make you have a better work of art. That's not necessarily true. So when you are making those your sort of trigger points, then that's what you look for, and that's what becomes your habit.
Yeah. So
And yeah.
just to share on that, right? So
Sure.
I'm currently working on a long-term writing project, right? And a big part of that is unearthing painful memories. But it is possible to not have to live them.
Sure.
Does that make sense, guys? So like I've already processed a lot of these traumatic issues that in the moment when I'm writing, I am digging deep
Yeah.
and it is painful.
Yeah.
But then when I'm done, it's like an energetic disconnect, and it's like, this is done.
Yeah.
I'm done with that, and I've put it out there, and then I actually feel lighter, and I don't need to carry that moody, broody.
Yeah, because then you
Vibes.
become the observer
Yeah,
instead of the participant.
Exactly.
That's what you do.
Yeah, so then you can detach yourselves from that. Like the anxiety doesn't need to become you.
Yeah.
You can have anxiety. You can have anger. You
Yes.
can have or experience sadness.
Of
but
course.
I never say anymore, I'm angry. No, I feel anger.
Okay.
It's two different things,
Yeah.
right? So like you're already not becoming the emotion. Our first tip from Kat is to break that pattern. So whenever you're recognizing again the disaster pattern, the
Yes.
anxiety
Yes.
patterns happening, then you break it with something pleasurable, enjoyable, and have a moment of gratitude.
Sure.
Okay. What is the next suggestion that you have as a year-end practice?
Okay, so I remember when I was discussing this with a friend, about, yeah, just feel grateful, and she said, but it's also toxic positivity, right? Because if you're really like feeling, negative because it is the holidays and season, it's so hard to feel the gratitude. And I go, yes, I agree, because it's like saying, what there are some people at some point, and they say, what am I grateful for? I mean, these things could be so much better. And I guess the way I would think about it is then do something for yourself. For even that 5 minutes when you wake up, you do something for yourself. And again, it's about prioritizing you, because when you start to value who you are, then again you realize, wait a minute, I can still do things for myself. And that is probably the simplest way of breaking that pattern. And you wake up and you say, you know what, I'm just going to put on like my favorite song and I'm going to sing in the shower. Or I'm going to go and dance for 3 minutes. And then that will kind of uplift you already. You don't have to go and do the journaling thing and like, oh, I have to list things, because sometimes it makes you angry.
Yeah,
right?
it's
It
true.
makes you
You get
angry and frustrated. Like, wait a minute, I don't want to write because nothing great happened to me this week. But you're like, you know what? I'm going to put, let's say, the best song I've ever heard. I'm just going to dance. I'm going to sing. If you have a pet, it's about you just doing something for yourself. First
Yes,
thing.
absolutely. And you guys have heard me say this multiple times. It's what I do. Everyone in my house knows that they cannot talk to me before I have my cacao.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I need to have my cacao and I need to cuddle my dog
Okay.
every morning.
Right.
Like, even if it's just 15 minutes,
That's
like,
fine.
that's what I need. I need
Yeah.
that. I put my phone away. It's just me and my dog. Sometimes it's the two doggies, one or the other, but it's like a cuddly furry puppy and my cacao. And I need it every morning. Just it's my time for me, right? And just telling yourself that I deserve these 5 minutes or 10 or 15, whatever it is, even if it's just 5, is an energy shift in
Yeah.
telling the universe that you deserve goodness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, because even just the action of prioritizing yourself, being the first person you think about in the morning, is already a shift.
Yeah.
Especially in this very busy world, and regardless of whether you are, you're attached, you have children or not, you still don't prioritize yourself. I know a lot of single people who prioritize their boss or their parent before themselves. Let's say they have, they have no children, they have no partner. So it's the same thing. So why can't you wake up in the morning and just be grateful that you're alive? One, you can make it simple.
Absolutely.
Two, that you maybe even have a bed to sleep on. And three, you can just for the next 3 minutes do whatever you want. So that's, I feel, another simple way
Wonderful.
of clearing the old, as the title of this podcast is, clearing the
Well,
old.
let's actually dive into that.
Okay.
Let's dive into clearing, period.
Sure.
Because this, like it or not, we all absorb. I
Yes.
think most people are givers than takers.
Mm-hmm.
And by being giving, your heart and your space is open, right? Your auric field is open, your heart is open, your energy is open. Therefore, you end up absorbing stuff that's not yours,
Yeah.
right? Whether that's in a party or in your home or even just baggage throughout the year.
Yeah.
So let's break it down.
Sure.
So let's start with personal baggage.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start with experiences. Good, difficult, challenging, whatever it is that happened to you this year that you feel like it's doesn't serve me anymore. I honor it. Let's let it go. How can someone do that to make space for the new?
Okay, so I wanted to add to what you were saying. So the people who are very open and giver, these are also the people pleasers, right? Those who cannot say
Former.
no, yeah, those who cannot say no, those who would rather walk on eggshells or skirt around their own needs in order to make everybody happy. So that one has to end. And I'm not saying it has to end like it's like a rough cut and decide to be like, no, I'm not doing anything for anybody. It's, again, the awareness that, wait, why am I doing all of these things for other people when I'm uncomfortable with myself? Okay?
Yeah.
So the first thing is there are going to be so many social activities as we go towards the end of the year, right? So really sit down and just wonder, and think to yourself, how does this make me feel that I'm going to this party where I'm not really keen because, one, I'm exhausted physically, two, don't know if I can, keep up with the vibe or the energy of these people, and three, is there something else I would rather be doing that is better for me?
Wow, those are great questions
Yeah.
to ask. I've found myself in an event saying like not being able to answer like, why am I here, ba?
Yeah, right?
It happens.
It's the people pleaser part.
It's less now. I don't do that
Sure.
anymore, but I definitely a few years ago, I found myself being
Of
like,
course.
why am I here ba? Ano bang ginagawa ko dito?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
what? I'd better be home, So that's great to check in with
Yes,
yourself.
that's a good way.
Just a reminder, we did a podcast on the whole body yes, which is a really great visit. So scroll down, take a look at it, and it really breaks down on what that feels like in your body. A yes, a no, and it's a good gauge, right? If you have to convince yourself but to do something, maybe it's a no, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, what about things that have happened this year
Sure.
that you don't want to take into the next year?
Okay. So, things is such a broad term, right? So, is it, maybe you can give me one
Okay,
example
like
so we can.
emotional experiences,
Right.
transitions, difficult transitions. I think challenges. Is it anger? Is it grief? Perhaps the end of a relationship or a friendship, or it was just a challenging year,
Yeah.
and you don't want to take it anymore into the next year.
Sure. So, I think a lot of it, what we bring into the next year emotionally, is a challenging relationship. Again, whether it's romantic or professional or familial or friendly. And this is one of the more, if we're talking about challenges, one of the most challenging things to do is to forgive. And forgive is not a light word. It's not a light word because, it's like, oh, forgiveness is forgiveness with your whole heart, okay? And it doesn't mean you're going to forget. Doesn't mean you're going to forget the trauma
Yeah.
or the fact that maybe somebody did not treat you the way you deserve. But it's to forgive them because it's the most freeing thing you can do for yourself.
Yes.
So it's to forgive yourself because a lot of times when, let's say you have those continuous patterns where you're always suckered, you're drawn back into a toxic relationship because again, it's another drug, it's another crutch. First, forgive yourself. Stop saying, I'm so stupid. How could I do this to myself? I'm such a loser. I suck. No. Say, okay, I forgive myself for allowing myself to give that person another chance. Forgiveness. And then I forgive that person for whatever they did. But I won't forget, and I forgive. And you need to keep on saying it until you mean it. And you actually feel a lightness towards it. It can come back, okay? I'm not saying it's like 100% of the time kind of cure, but it's just that you say, okay, forgive myself because I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I forgive myself because I love that person so much. I gave them 200 million chances. Okay, I forgive myself. I forgive them because just believe that they didn't do it personally to hurt you. They're going through their own
Yeah,
crap.
KKJ, right, guys? Kanya-kanyang journey,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Everything is done in spite of you,
Yes.
not to you. They have, which is really difficult, actually, especially with someone who has really hurt you. It's really difficult to
Yeah.
acknowledge that. But part of the healing process is acknowledging that that's their own issues
And
that were
plus, if you
projected
have
upon you.
still
right?
an obligation or a connection to each other, and I really feel this during the holidays because of family.
Ang hirap. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I'm very fortunate. I have a great relationship with my
Yes.
family, but it's not always the same for everyone
Of
in my
course.
family. Dynamics are different.
course.
Each sibling is different, right? And I know many people who really dread the holidays,
Yeah.
and being always in your face surrounded by family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can even forgive yourself for that guilt, right? Because like let's say you are very good at planning and entertaining. So I'm sure you put it upon yourself to make sure everybody's having a good time.
No more na. Bahala na
Okay.
sila.
Oh, there you go.
Ayun, wala na yan. Wala na people please. Bahala na sila. And as long as I'm having a good time. Actually, so my theory on this is I believe in co-regulation and I believe in leading from your own energy. So if you can be in a space of really light love and at peace with yourself and really be like, that's their issues, not mine. When you walk into a room, you can actually shift the energy of a room, right? That you
Yeah.
can, or at least be unbothered by their energy. So that's the goal. It's not always the case,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's enough to just be unbothered by their energy and be like, ayan na naman,
Yeah.
si tita, whatever, like calling me,
Yes.
like something so simple and so stupid. So my dad is so my dad. I love him. I know he adores me, but I grew up in a household where if I gained 5 pounds, they would pick on me. Oh, why are you so fat? Your tummy's sticking out, whatever. When I was 16, they were like, Tito Nuni, he's a plastic surgeon. Let's fix your nose. Or he would like count the button, like the pimples on my face, right? So whatever. I am over 40 now. I've gained like how many kilos, just like every other middle-aged woman. It's fine. I feel fine in my body. And a couple of years ago, like my dad would always be like, ang taba-taba mo. Like, Steph, you have such a beautiful face, but you're so fat. Like, it's not, like, look, you have to lose weight. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I'll tell you this, it used to super set me off.
Of course.
And then when people would ask if I was pregnant, when I really just was carrying a food baby, it would also set me off.
Yeah.
Like, but then now that I'm actually just so comfortable in my own skin, and I am 15 pounds heavier than the times that he used to criticize me, he never says I'm fat anymore.
Yeah.
He never does. Just because my energy is like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Right? I'm heavier. I'm heavier. I see him all the time. Every so often he'll say, oh, maybe your tummy's a bit big. I'm like, it's okay. Like, whatever. And it doesn't bother me anymore because I actually have come to the place of
Sure.
like loving myself. But it's so funny how I would give anything to be 15 pounds thinner now. But when I was 15 pounds thinner, he would always tell me I was
Yeah.
fat because in my head I felt fat.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever. But now it's like, oh, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
or when people say I'm pregnant, I just laugh. I'm like, oh, I just eat so much. It's okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't set me off like it used to. And I think in that light, it's a small, superficial example of how being okay with yourself will also shift the way people interact with you.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's related to what Kat is saying, right? So it's like basically shifting the energy within you will also shift your relationships and be able to have that
Yeah.
necessary distance.
Because it's interesting when you said it's a superficial example. It's not, because I think it's a perfect example of how our parents helped put the basis of our value system. So
And
it's
our issues.
actually deeper. It's an actual deep issue because especially to women and women here in Asia, Southeast Asia, it's not acceptable to be fat.
My God.
Right? It's
How
not.
many events that they call up like, oh, tumaba ka.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
sobra
it
ka
seems
namang
to be the
payat,
premium.
or whatever, right? Like,
It's the premium, right? It's a premium to be a certain body weight. I think it's interesting that Steph brought that up because also when you are in this path of forgiveness and then you're wondering why certain things, give you that anxiety or cause palpitations is because of something that was said to you as a child that you have made your truth. And so when you enter a room, even if let's say nobody's saying anything, you're going to go back to the points that gave you that insecurity as a child because again, it was a pattern.
Yes.
You expect to go into a room and saying in your mind, even subconsciously, I hope they notice I lost weight. Or I hope they notice that I look good in my clothes. And if they do, wow, confidence level through the roof. If they say, then it's this thing. It's this energy. I want to say it. It's almost like this meter that is coming from outside validation.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you value yourself based on what other people think about you.
Yes.
And that's the biggest shift that
Yes.
everyone needs to make, really. It's inner validation, right? It's not that easy. It's a journey, but it comes with
It's not
awareness. So going back to the forgiveness piece,
Yes.
and letting go of what has happened to you this
Yes.
year. One of the practices that I'd like to share is actually writing a letter that you might never send. But the fact that it's out there, like those are the things that keep you up at night, right? Like you're like about to sleep and you're like, I should have said this.
Yeah.
That person,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah. Like, I can't believe that they did this to me. And then it's all this stuff is like, or you like they say something to you and then you didn't answer back. Dapat sinagot ko siya.
Yep.
Like, so
Yep.
it's this unsaid words that live inside you and haunt you. So just by writing a letter, then you can decide, do you want to send it? Do you not want to send it? Write it as angry as you want. And then if you want, stick it in the chat GPT and like, can you make this nice? They send the nice one, you can keep the angry one. But like, you at least it's not living inside you.
It's not
So
festering.
it's a physical like taking out of that anger, issue, disappointment, betrayal, whatever, sadness. You physically dump it onto your computer drive or a piece of paper. And I find that once that's out, it's like then you're not living in
Sure.
it anymore or trying to remember the stuff that you want to say
Yeah.
the next time you see them or whatnot, right? And when you do that, you can choose to send it or not send it. It's already sent to the universe, right?
Sure.
And then sometimes you can do rituals, tear it up, burn
it.
it, whatever it is, and that helps
Yeah.
release. So let's go back to the like more rituals. Let's go back to you in a space in a crowded room.
Right.
Okay, so we went from self to outer self, our close friends and relationships, to now attending all kinds of events. You come home and you're tired,
Right.
right? And you're physically drained and you've unwittingly absorbed energy that is not yours. How do we clear that? Maybe we
Okay.
can share, show, visualize. Yeah.
So back to your question, like if you do go to a party or an office event, like lots of people, how do you not bring that energy home?
Yeah.
So there are two things that you can do. One is very visual. You can imagine that there's a huge pair of scissors and you are just cutting all the attachments to you. You don't even have to name the person one by one, but just imagine that a lot of people have latched onto you. So like there are little threads attached to you. And I would just imagine there's a big pair of scissors and you're giving yourself like a thread cut, like a haircut. So you cut bottoms of your feet, top of your hair, just cut, 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 cut. So when you go into your room or whatever, the filaments of these energies is gone. It's been cut. Another thing, and I'd like to support Steph's exercise, which I think was a very good one, is when you go home and if you're already in the habit of journaling or writing, so you say, I am feeling depressed, I'm feeling angry, I am feeling whatever it happened in that event, I'm feeling tired, and then I want you to shift that. So you look at that, I'm feeling, and then I want you to shift that to another language or to another word. So I'm feeling tired, and you say, the next word is, I am resting now. You just shift it. I am feeling drained by the people around me. I am energized by being home. So you do the opposite. So
love that.
you shift it. Again, it's the pattern of the brain going, oh my God, party. Draining, tiring. I have to be making chica for 2 hours when I don't want to. I have to wear like these shoes that are uncomfortable. I mean, it's what we pressure ourselves into doing and being and looking. when we have an audience. So when you go home, you go, you know what? I am tired. My feet are tired. I am tired with my feet. I am loving the fact I can give myself a foot massage. So you just shift it. So this supports again your exercise, and this is maybe for those who want like a quicker fix. Write down how you're feeling all the sort of negative things from coming home, and then shifting to how that changes in your language. So at least before you sleep, your brain is already thinking about the shifts from the energy you picked up outside and the energy you bring back to your
I
sacred
love
space.
that. That's something new. I like that. So a couple of things I do naman.
Sure.
And one of them is before I enter a room, I'll protect myself.
Yes.
I'll imagine. And to be honest, really, really honest, sometimes I forget to do it on a regular basis. I'll do it with a really big crowd, but if it's like smaller crowds that I just forget, right?
Yeah.
But so it's really like imagining yourself in a big ball of light, like white light or pinkish white light, and also covered in like a mirrored surface. So it's like you don't get anything that's not yours, only love. And then the reflective silvery surfaces, whatever is bad. You taught me
Bounces back,
that
yeah.
silver thing, like whatever sent to you goes back to the person.
Yes.
So let's hope they send you love. So you send
Yeah.
them back love. If it's not love, then that's their problem now. But anyway, the idea is it's really like you're already putting a visualizing an energetic shield around you. And me personally, I shower every night before going to
Yeah.
bed, regardless of what I did in the day. That shower is also energetic cleansing. So I call it like energetic hygiene, where I really imagine the water washing off the day, everyone's energies that's not mine. And if it's like a particularly heavy day, I scrub, like body scrub. I particularly scrub my chest because that's like the heart space, right? So I kind of like, okay, clear. And I really imagine that I'm, yeah, all the galis of the day, right? Like the
Yeah.
energetic galis of the day, you scrub it off
Yeah.
and you wash it off. And when that's clean, I kind of like seal my energy like with my hands and feel it and like, okay, this is mine now. And you taught me
Yeah,
that the scissors, and then that's it. So at least when I go to bed, even if I forgot to protect myself, at least I'm
Yeah.
cleansed, right? And if salt also helps, guys. If anything feels particularly heavy or draining over a couple of days, if you don't have a bathtub, you get a tabo and put water with salt. And when I say salt, sometimes not even Himalayan salt. Like I've been using this wonderful salt from Zamboanga that I got from Rituals. It's just you
Sea
need
salt.
sea salt to cleanse, and it just helps absorb all
Yeah.
the other
Basically, just don't
energies.
use iodized. Yeah.
Wala yan.
Yeah.
That
Not
doesn't help.
iodized. Yeah.
So, okay, last step. Let's talk about space, okay? And
Yes.
I want to relate it to another podcast. I had our dear friend JJ
Yeah.
over who talked about how space influences our energy, our manifestation. So check that out below if you're really interested in the energetics of space. It's down there with JJ Acuna. Amazing. So much fun, that episode. So Kat, like I call her when I need intense space
Sure.
clearing. Let's talk about how your space can be, number one, invaded,
Of course.
and how can we do to clear and protect?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, here's the thing. You know, we are social creatures, right? So all sorts of people come into our space. Okay. So one is what Steph says. She makes sure she's shielded, or before she goes to bed, she cuts, she showers. So that already helps that you don't bring it into your space, or maybe it passes through. I would also look at the items you might have in your room or your space, especially if they're antiques or secondhand. Or artwork that may or may not have portals. I can get into that deeper. So remember that everything is based off of somebody else's energy. So if the person or the artist created an artwork or a sculpture and they were not in a great mood, or there was something traumatic happen in their life, that energy passes on to their work. So that work could be basically festering in the place where you sleep
Yeah.
and live.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend that you're feeling disturbances, then ask somebody to come and help. I'm happy you can message me, you can message Steph. I would do that. Third is, I just learned this recently, is if you also want to shift the energy in your space, move 7 or 8 things
Oh, I like
from
that.
location. Because when something has been stagnant, it's been in one place for the longest time.
Yeah.
So even if you move it, when you enter that room, and let's say, for example, in this beautiful, place of yours, Steph, if you move, let's say that stool there, that table here, when you come in, even your mind shifts because all of a sudden you're looking at something new.
You.
So that I think is another simple hack. If you have 7 to 8 things in your room or your living room or a place you frequent, just move it. The next is I would also be mindful of what happens when you have people over. Okay, so when they come over, use the scissors again. When they leave, just cut. Other people enjoy the incense, the sandalwood incense. Some people sage, palo santo. It's a tool that you can use so you feel like you're energetically fumigating from all the pests that came into your
And
space.
you know what? The thing is, they could be really close friends.
Yes.
But they could be bringing baggage that's not
their issues.
yours
Yeah.
and they leave it here,
Yeah.
right? It's literally like an emo dumping.
Sure, that's a good word, dumping.
Unwittingly.
Yeah.
Right? Because your space is welcoming,
Yeah.
because you had a nice conversation, because it's they don't do it on purpose.
No.
It just happens,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you have a friend, let's say, who unfortunately experienced the death of a loved one or the death of a relationship. Of course, because you're close to them, they're gonna come to you and they're gonna vent and they're gonna dump and they're gonna put their drama. And it's great you're accommodating them because that's what friendship is for. But sometimes, since when you are in a relationship with somebody, let's say Steph and I, we're friends, right? But when we're talking, I latch on to her, I plug into her. She plugs into me. It's just normal. So we're feeding off of each other. But, we're both at a point where we've been drained and drained other people before that when we leave, we find a way to unplug. Sometimes you don't do that because you have your friends over and you forget you're all plugging into each other, that when they leave, you're still,
Yes.
getting there. So again, unplug, cut, all of these things. So your best friend comes, she's having a hard holiday, she's dumping, you're accepting, you're taking it in, you're processing it, then she leaves, you're still processing it.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that when they leave, when you're conscious about it, you can do the salt bath, you can cut, or just even think like me, I always go, I unplug. I mean, it's funny. Sometimes I'm in my room and I'm going, I'm doing this because I'm just unplugging. So that's something you can do too.
Me naman, I go like this.
Yeah.
So if you see me
Yeah, me, I'm like
scissoring
this.
or karate chopping my hands,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
And
unplugging
people
from you
forget to
guys.
unplug from their back.
Oh, I don't do
realize.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I know.
unplug from the back, especially the root chakra, which is right here.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Yeah, because that's that's the root, and that's like the most powerful part, and
Correct.
people just into it.
Latch
and
on.
then, so sometimes I'm in my room. I don't do it in public. I used to, which was probably looked awful. When I finally get home, I'm alone. I'm like, wait a minute. It's like I'm pulling off a tail.
tail?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
funny. So, but it's whether you believe in it or not, the act of ritual,
Yeah.
the act of doing it is already shifting your energy.
No, but I
right?
mean,
so it's
again,
really important.
You said it. You said it yourself. It's not just the sort of woo-woo nooniness of all. These are all things that are based on your synapses in your brain, the way the back of your brain relates to the frontal cortex. It's all about the different parts of brain that are engaged with how you think and how you feel.
Yeah.
So when you do these physical actions, it does trigger your brain. So there is science behind
Absolutely.
it.
And I really believe in the power of vibrational frequency. It's as simple as I talked about it not too long ago. The plant experiment in IKEA, the plant that was talked to nicely, flourished, and the same plant that received the same sunlight, water, and everything, but the students were told to speak poorly, it withered, right?
Yeah.
When you speak bad words or mean words, it started to wither. And what does that tell us? It tells us that intention, vibration, emotion, all of these carry a vibrational quality. It's kind of like how they say Bluetooth is bad for you or electromagnetic waves are bad for your brain because you absorb it. you are an antenna. So people emit different types of frequencies, and you're just basically clearing those frequencies from your body, right? So, yeah, it's good practice for anybody. All right, as we close this podcast, let's talk about bringing in new energy. How do we do that? And why is it important to actually take a moment to clear the space for that and bring that in?
Because when you make space for things, then more things enter. So
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, people say spring cleaning, but Philippines only has wet and dry, right? So really take into account all the things you have in your home that are no longer needed, especially broken appliances, broken objects that you don't want to have fixed, clothes you no longer wear, anything that needs repair, remove or donate. Or things that you no longer utilize, again, remove, donate,
How
sell.
come?
Because it's just a matter of why would you want anything broken in your life
I like
or
that.
non-functional in your life. So when you look at something and you go, oh, it still needs to be fixed, is there some aspect of your life that you've not been able to address that still needs fixing? So in your own space, make sure that everything is working. Because when the big stuff, I mean, it's like when you have guests that come with bearing gifts. So imagine the universe is bringing you gifts, but you're not prepared because you're still repairing the house. Or they can't come in because you can't open the door because the lock is busted.
Yeah.
Right? So if you fix it, even just your physical
But
space,
I love the symbolism of why would you want anything broken in your life?
Yeah, or non-functional.
Non-functional.
Yeah.
Question, what if it's sentimental?
Sentimental and nostalgia. I understand that it's something that we're attached to, but what sentiment is it bringing in? Is it necessarily bringing in good memories? Or is it bringing in something that is based off of trauma that has made, again, your crutch?
Yeah.
So look at the sentiment of it.
Got it. That's interesting. You also told me once not to have dead plants
Yes.
or dead things.
Yeah. Well,
Why would you have dead things?
yeah,
Huwag ka
I
naman
mean,
mag-dead bodies in your
yeah. Again, it's all about,
But
something
like
that
dead
has
things
flow.
meaning like dried plants, for example. That was
Right.
the specific. We're not morbid here.
Yeah, yeah,
No
yeah, yeah.
Dexters here, but
Yeah.
like more like dried plants, right? You were like, don't
Yes.
have dried plants. Why?
I just feel that, again, it's dehydrated or it's dead. I mean, you can have some. I'm not being like an extremist here. Like, no, I mean balance. Because I know it's not cheap to have live plants and live flowers or live. I'm so obviously don't have a green thumb, okay?
Yeah.
But again, it's when you look at it, does it provide you a sense of feeling, ooh, vibrant or it's dead? So it's that. If you can look at it and say, oh, it's a beautiful artificial plant or dehydrated plants or potpourri, which is basically dehydrated, then it says, oh, it's pretty, I like it, fine. But if you look at it and it says, and you say, it's looking a little dead and tired and old. Out.
Things we never want to say to ourselves
Yeah.
in the mirror. Dead, tired, old.
And old.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
No more old.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally understand actually. I think there is value in bringing in life. So just small thing like when my ex left the house and he moved out and I was like full on redecorating mode and it
Right.
was so symbolic because it was like a reclamation
Yeah.
of myself,
Of
right?
course.
And it was even symbolic with the colors. Like he only wanted dark blues, some reds, like very heavy wood, dark wood. And then that's why if you look at my house now, it's so colorful
Yeah.
because that's me. That's
Yeah.
my soul. And even in my wardrobe, like I had so many blue and white and I like banished it. I still have trauma like with blue and white stripes because my whole wardrobe was blue and white stripes. So it's like really an energetic reclamation, right? So I understand that clearing and being able to clear, especially letting go of things that could be useful for somebody else,
Yeah.
frankly, creates abundance, right? Because abundance for me is about flow. Think of a room with all the windows closed and you've just like accumulated all kinds of stuff in it.
Yeah.
How is anything else going to enter? How is anything that doesn't serve you going to go out if all the doors and windows? It's like dense
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
So you open all those windows, and abundance is really that flow. You receive, you let go to receive some more. You give to other people and you receive some more.
Yeah, you make
So you can't
space.
hang on to stuff.
Yeah, you make space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to clean my closet. I have to make space.
You have to make space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kat. Let's wrap this up with just one more thing that people can do
Okay.
to sort of manifest for the next year.
Okay. I would like to. Oh, okay. Maybe this will work. So think of 5 things in your life. Okay, and think of maybe 3 things out of the 5 that are working really well for you. Like, oh, this seems to be flowing well, great, And then 2 where you're challenged. 2 where it's not yet at an optimal level. And then I want you to just focus on making these 3 things even bigger, better, brighter, because that energy will spill over to the 2 things that are still not at optimal level. Yeah, so that's as general as I can get. So you can say, like, you know what, let's say, things in my career are going well, my relationship with my parents is good, my kids are all very healthy. And then second, okay, maybe physically I could be more fit. And the other one is, I'd be great if I had more savings. You focus on the 3. Because when you build the abundance there, or when you make this like a habit of yours to be grateful and to say, look, more of this, I want more, because the universe is limitless.
Yes, it is.
It spills. It spills over.
I love this. The universe has no budget. So,
has none.
like ask for what you want.
Yes.
And my one tip is write down what your life or how you want your life to look like, or what it is that you want in present tense.
Yeah.
Not, I want this to happen. Like, it is happening.
Yes.
Right? Like, let's say, I want an international book deal. No, I have an international book deal with blah, blah, blah. Like, to write down everything that you envision in present tense. And I'll tell you why. When I did this a couple of years ago, and I actually stuck it on my website and I forgot about it, eventually it all came true.
Yeah.
It all came true because it's like it's happening already. The most expansive, radiant, abundant version of you is out there in the universe happening. You just gotta jump and quantum leap into that timeline, right? So by actually writing it down in present tense,
Becomes real.
it becomes real.
Yeah.
I swear. Try it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks so much, Kat.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
This was such a great episode. Can you share with people how they can reach out to you and what are some of the things that you offer?
Steph is my manager. You have to go
I
through
take
her.
a cut.
Yeah.
Weekly heat clearing
Yes.
is my cut. I'm just kidding.
You can go, if you have Instagram, it's Soul Spa PH. That's my handle. You can message me there, or Kat Holigores. It's a silent H, but Holigores when you spell it. That would be the best way. Or again, Steph. Because I chat with her almost every day.
Oh my God, I refer people to her all the time.
Yes, and I'm very grateful because I've met such wonderful people through Steph who have allowed me to learn about myself and at the same time keep me grounded. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and you know
Yeah.
what? I just want to plug, because I am
Yes.
unofficially her manager now, that Kat has been also doing some group sessions,
Right.
which, if you're still uncertain, you don't know what what to expect, you can always join some of your group sessions. In fact, November 5, we have a lovely
collab.
collab
Yeah.
at Cozy Lounge, which is like our favorite space
Yes.
for all good things.
Yes. Super
in
good
Makati.
vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's all about falling into freedom, soul unbound. It is exactly what we talked about. All of those practices and more.
Yes.
So to prepare yourselves for the next year. So do sign up in case you get to hear this before November 5.
Yeah. Please, we'd love to have you, because when we are together doing this healing and manifestations group, again, like the 5 exercises, that energy spills over to others.
Send us a DM on @SoulfulFeasts or to me or to Kat, and we'll send you the link to sign up and join. Otherwise, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Kat.
thank you. Thank you.
And thank you guys for joining us here today. I hope you can get through this holiday season with light and love. And really, everyone is capable of it. I think honoring what you have, and I think that's what's so important about the message here today. We're not pushing it down. We are not here for toxic positivity. We are here to look at all our SHIT in the face and be like, thank you, but I don't need you anymore. Bye. Right? And that's what this is all about. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear your stories. Make a comment below, send us a DM. I just love hearing from you guys. Let's keep growing the Soulful Feast community. Thank you again for watching. This has been Stephanie Zubiri for Soulful Feast, bite-sized information to nourish your body, mind, and spirit.